Hello, everybody. We will give everyone a few minutes here to join, and then we will be live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing some fun shirts today. But before we get started, I did want to talk to you about a few things. So we will wait for a few seconds more for people to join our live feed. Hello, Dee. How's it going?
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Dana. How's it going?
Lindsay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we are doing the 2-camera system. I will soon be off camera and kind of doing over here, but I did want to talk to you guys about some stuff. So the big thing I wanted to touch base with is the Cricut sale that's currently going on. This is a big sale. It is half off supplies and a lot of accessories like mats and pens, blades and stuff. Now, there's been some confusion around the coupon codes. So you can still use my KK15 to get an additional 15% off everything and free standard shipping. Here's the deal. Standard shipping right now, though, you may or may not get it before Christmas. You might, but they can't guarantee it. They do have something going right now that you can use. I think it says holiday ship. I think that's my code. Let me go look at it really quick. Now this one, it is, holiday ship. This one is free priority shipping. So free priority shipping. So that means you're going to get it way before Christmas on orders over $75. Here's the, why is he standing behind you?
Because there's no room.
There's only one chair. I'll be leaving soon. He's just looking at him. He's a creeper. So the holiday ship thing though is you wouldn't be able to use the KK15. So there's been some confusion, but I would not let the sale pass up. So we're going to be making t-shirts today. I'm super excited with the EasyPress, which is also on sale. All of our links are going to be down below. These files will be available to my Patreons here sometime tonight. I haven't uploaded them now, but I will be. This is a 2-part series tonight and tomorrow. Tonight we're making all of these shirts are based on my favorite holiday movies. So today we have Christmas Vacation, The Grinch, and Elf. Tomorrow's 3 other Christmas movies. So we'll be making that tonight. But the reason I'm bringing that up is we're using Cricut glitter iron-on and Cricut foil iron-on, and of course the regular iron-on. And it's great stuff and it's half off. Plus you can use my code. So these are awesome. If you have not gotten an EasyPress, this is a must. I cannot stress that enough. This is such a must. We're also going to be using our bright pad to do weeding on that. So we will get started with that. But I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about the sale and the difference in those codes. So you can still use KK15, but you will not, I'll get you 15% off and free shipping, but they cannot guarantee that shipment before Christmas. If you need a present and you want to make sure you get it before Christmas, use holiday ship if your order's over $75. Even though you won't get the 15% off, you're going to be guaranteed to get it at Christmas. And if you're like anything like me, I've been spoiled by Amazon, and now I feel like everything should be 2-day shipping. Like everything. Which is not a good thing. So, anyways, Sean and I are going to change.
All right.
Yay.
Hello, hope everybody can hear me.
So
new microphone setup.
Yes.
It's not on the floor. It's actually right here.
Sean's got all of this set up. So we will be, Sean will be answering questions if you guys see. I cannot stress this enough. If you... a couple things on Cricut right now I would get besides iron-on is they have a Cricut iron-on protective sheet that's like $6.99 and it's 50% off, and then you can use codes or free ship. I highly suggest that. I am going to turn on my EasyPress a little early, and the reason why is it helps with weeding. But we're going to be doing, so there's 2 different, oh gosh, that light's probably way overexposed, but you get this with your EasyPress. And since we're using foil and light iron or glitter iron-on, we're going to start with the foil. The foil is a lighter temperature, so that way we can get this at temperature. It's 295 degrees Fahrenheit versus glitter, which I'm going to be using, which is 340 degrees. So it's really important that we want to start with whatever is your lowest temp first because you want to make sure your heating is good. So all we're going to do is turn on, I'll move this out of the way here so this is a little bit more centered. Once again, Sean's looking for questions, and I'm sorry if people are in here and I don't know. I know I saw Lori pop in. I think Melody's in here.
Yes.
I think Tamitha, and they're all my admins. So we're not admins.
Yes.
They're...
Just remember, his code cannot work for machines, and this is considered a machine. So there were a couple people that were lucky, but they were so extremely rare.
We have this set to 295. You can always check it by doing the temp again. And the little Cricut head here is red. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
There you go. And it's heating up. This heats up pretty quick. Oh, I messed up there.
There it goes.
Okay, so this will heat up pretty quick. You'll see the temperature here change. Right now we're at 70 degrees, so you can see how quickly it's heating up. And our foil is going to be at 35 seconds, but I do need to weed this first. Now, I am obsessed with this foil. This foil...
Sheila is here.
So basically, when you do foil, it will say put the protective sheet down. And I'm going to tell you, this is pretty thin stuff. On glitter, you can see the protective sheet. You can see that one side's dull and glitter, and there's a protective sheet. But the foil, it's kind of hard to see. So just remember, it says in the instructions, put your protective sheet down. But if you just remember, the color foil goes down and the white goes facing up on the mat. We have to weed this bad boy, and I will be heating it up. That's my little trick for quick weeding. So I do have the bright pad, which is, as you can see, super bright. And it's hard to see, but it does give me a break in the line so I can see when I'm weeding how easy this is. Now, when these tools first came out, I will say I wasn't thinking I was going to use the bright pad very much. But now that I've started doing a lot of...
Is that your highest thing?
Yeah.
Well, here it looks like it's not. Must be my angle.
It must be your age. I mean angle.
Angle.
Angle, not your age.
No.
How rude. How rude. All right, so when this gets up to 295, I am going to do a heating of this. Now, this is a silicone mat. You can use other things. I know some people have a Steady Betty. Some people use towels. You get these on Amazon for a silicone mat. I think these are silicone mats. Isn't that what they're called? Or,
yeah. It's a silicone mat.
It came with my EasyPress. I really like it.
This did not.
EasyPress? Oh, I'm not my Easy. I haven't used my heat press in so long. Isn't that weird? I've always
4,000-pound thing that we have back there. Yeah.
I've always used my heat press, so I'm using EasyPress. I say EasyPress all the time, which is good. All right, so the quick trick for you is now that we have a green light, which you can't see, there you go, green light. I'm gonna do a little trick here. So you could weed this without doing this trick. It just takes a little bit longer. If you take your EasyPress and just kind of heat up your silicone mat here.
Or some type of surface.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably do it for, what?
10, 15 seconds.
10, 15 seconds. So, and then we put that back. And then we're going to put this kind of on here. What that's going to do is it's going to heat up the adhesive. And then when we bring it over to our little thing here, it will come off a lot easier, which is what we want. Because I don't know if you guys have ever worked with stuff that's not heated up. It does not come off very easy. Well, I mean, it will come off, but to do that heat up is a lot easier. And then what we're going to do, the nice thing is this should come right up. Now, this one I am going to use a little bit of a cheat sheet. I took a picture of this one just because this has a lot of interior parts. And I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I'm sure you have, where you are weeding and you weed the wrong item and you're like, oh man. So I do have a little bit of a cheat sheet, and while I'm weeding that, I can answer questions. I will say that these two tools have made my making shirts really... Oh, Sean, what was that?
Steve, sorry. Excuse me.
It's all good, Sean. This has made making shirts super easy. So I'm kind of... I wouldn't say I'm addicted. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty addicted to it. Just because before I wouldn't necessarily... always make shirts. It was kind of a pain. Well, it wasn't a pain. I don't want to say it was a pain, but...
just a quick question. Joanne is just asking, is this foil? Yes, this is foil. And then we have 2 glitters after this.
Yep. And I was going to weed it, but I did not have time. For those of you who do not know...
He gets here right just before we have to go on, so we have to do a lot of stuff before we start.
So basically, I got home and we had to cut this bad boy right away using the Cricut Maker, which has the fast mode, thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness.
But it's still, we're doing 3 t-shirts tonight. And, Sean, tell them why we have to be out of here right at 7. Guess what?
So
Sean's going to tell you what happened.
So amazingly, sometime yesterday, or Saturday night, Ken put his new phone 10 iPhone X, on the charger, went to grab it, and noticed that there was no charge. It was at 3%.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought, well, maybe it just wasn't plugged in. So he plugged it in the morning, and for hours, it just stayed at 3%. And then he went online to figure out what's going on. We went on a chat line. They did everything they could. Nothing. They could not get this thing to work. So
Which, keep in mind, this is the same thing that happened to my last phone.
Yep.
And eventually fixed itself, but still, how long have we had those phones?
Not even a month. Or the other one. Yeah, it was horrible. Let's see.
So I had to live a whole day without my phone. I know. You guys feel sad for me. Anyways, is there already a question?
Yeah, somebody was asking, did you guys figure out how well vinyl holds up with the washing over and over again?
I would actually refer you, I don't know if you're where Lori's all posted it.
Miss Lori Newmaker?
Yeah.
She's here. Lori would tell us.
I have not tested that yet. I want to, but Lori actually tested heat transfer vinyl in the washing machine, and her test basically, I want to say she did it, gosh, if she's still in here, she can tell us how many times she tested it, but it was a
Yes, Lori, if you're still here, tell me, how well did you
and
guys
I don't
do
know.
yours?
I know she, of course, posted on her personal page, but if you're not friends with her on her personal page, she actually has, every time she did a wash, she took a picture of it, and she has little slash marks on the shirt to show you how well this stuff holds up. And I want to say she did it 36 times.
She did. Lori. See, Melody is saying that Lori did a video with over 64 washes. It's
Isn't
still
that
going.
crazy?
It is fantastic. It's crazy.
Now, of course, the biggest thing on this is making sure you get a good application. You're making sure you're following all the instructions. I cannot stress that enough. This stuff is so pretty, you guys. It is so pretty. And my garbage is gone, so it's just going on the floor.
No,
That's awesome.
I got it right here.
It's all good. All right, so this one, here we have it. Here it is. It's from, if you guys didn't know, this is from Elf. Let me put it over here. It says Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins. Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins. And this is going on a white shirt, which I was super excited for because it is that super bright red vinyl. We're already ready to go, but what I'm going to do is make sure that we press our shirt, which is really important. Now,
yay, Guadalupe got her
quick
EasyPress
reference chart.
116.
This what?
No, I'd say Guadalupe got hers.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, so this one here is, you get a little cheat sheet here, and it says $2.95 for foil. This is going on cotton for 35 seconds. So this little reference chart, and I know it's hard to see with these bright lights. There we go. Basically, up here is your base material, like cotton, polyester, nylon, and over here is your iron-on type. So we're doing foil. It's going to be 35 seconds.
I might be able to do it a little better on here.
Oh, good job, Shawnee. So the first thing I'm going to do while Sean shows you that on that screen is I'm going to press my shirt. Now, I'm just using I think they're called Gildan, and they are...
Good old Gildan. Or let's see, Gildan.
And these weren't on sale. Usually they're on sale at Joann's, but they weren't on sale, which is kind of sad.
They're still cheap.
They're still cheap. I think these are regular price is $4.99. Now, a lot of people will see me pressing the shirt and say, gosh, so basically this is just a glorified iron. And Sean will tell you why it's not.
Well, an iron, we know the shape of iron, basically triangle. A lot of them are where the main... heating elements just kind of right in the middle, and it's very hard to keep the entire thing heated with one temperature. They did a test on it, and there was a 200-degree difference between top, bottom, side, and everything. I would almost come this way, just about a half an inch.
I could measure it, but it takes so long.
And then where having that many different temperatures of degrees, and nothing constant, you can't get a good iron-on press. Or this The entire thing has elements going all the way through it, and it only is a difference of 15 to 20 degrees difference, which is so much better, and it gives you a much better, it's that light there. It gives you a much better...
There we go. Much better.
Gives you a much better way of iron on. You can just stick it, leave it, and let it do its thing with a little extra weight.
Forget it.
Stick it and forget it.
All right,
so
guys.
It's great.
We're going to go ahead and press this. Now, this, as you will see, is bigger. So we're going to do this in quadrants, probably 4 quadrants here. And once again, we need it for 35 seconds. So what I'm going to do on this guy here is I have my timer option here. I'm going to press that and make sure to put it at 35. So that way I'm good to go on my timer. So when I'm ready to go, all I have to do is hit my little Cricut head and get going. So let's go ahead and start on this side over here. We'll put it right here, and we're going to hit the Cricut head. Now, you'll notice I am putting a little bit of force, and I'll have Sean explain that while I do this.
So the weight of the machine itself is only like 4.9 pounds. It's enough, but not enough. To get a good adhesion to the fabric, you want to put a little pressure, and that's just by leaning on it. So you're looking at maybe putting an extra 5-10 pounds of body weight, and it's like nothing. That's why they tell you when you do this, do it on a table or something that is about waist high, so you actually have enough to actually lean on it. And that's plenty of pressure. You don't need that super heavy pressure from like a heat press.
Which is, I have to say, because I am so used to using my heat press, and my heat press is, it's heavy and bulky.
Thank you, Melody, for doing that. Yeah, somebody asked a question on how to get to Patreon, and there it is. Thank you very much, Mel.
So now, Sean, some people say I should have used my silicone thing over top of this.
Teflon?
So do I need it right now or no?
You do not need to do this as long as this is the first pressing. You've got the main, as you can see, this material is already on it. You do not need to put the Teflon on it. If you're going to do layering and your press is going to hit over something that once you remove that layer, then you're going to need something to keep it from melting on there. That's when you want that Teflon barrier so you don't melt it.
So this is the Cricut foil, and I really like this stuff. Like I said, it's half off right now. If you use my code KK15, you get another 15% off. I know I've already talked to Melody and told her that I kind of went wild. When these 50% off sales come, I stock up because we don't get them very often. Plus, when you combine discount codes, it's a great deal. Obviously you can, buy whenever, but it's a great deal. If you do not need the merchandise before Christmas, if you use my code, you'll still get free shipping. It's just not guaranteed before Christmas. But if you definitely need it before Christmas, you'll miss out on the KK15, but you can use holiday ship, and it's priority shipping. Yesterday was the last day to get regular shipping guaranteed before Christmas. So I love this foil. Though, wait till you guys see it once it's removed. It's
beautiful. Somebody wants to see a super close up so they can see how great this is, and we'll definitely do this.
All right, so I'm just gonna go by and just make sure I hit it again. And normally you wouldn't just use an iron like this, but I'm just doing a quick one so I can show you it peeled, and then we will probably do one more.
Does this need a warm? Is this a warm or a cool?
Oh, good job, Sean.
There's a new gal. Her name is Newbie Betty. Betty is wanting to know what's the difference between this and an iron. Well, we said it just a little earlier, probably just before you got here. An iron is basically...
Oh my gosh.
First of all, it's a small footprint.
Cute. Now, I am sorry to interrupt, Sean, but now I am going to just hit this one more time, just because I want to make sure we got a good adhesion to that shirt. I am using my silicone, and you can get this at Cricut.
Teflon.
The Teflon, sorry. You can get this now at Cricut. It's down below in the description, and it's on sale. I think it's normally $6.99, and then you get another... It's half off, so it's a great price, and this is what you can put down just to make sure you get a nice...
Somebody asked if this was a cold peel.
I didn't think so. It peeled just fine.
Yeah. So Betty,
look
basically,
at that.
Real quickly, look at that. It's pretty.
Oh my gosh. This is my favorite quote from the movie. It's kind of tight. I actually, when I work at a bank, so I can't cuss at a bank, obviously. So if I hit my hand at the bank or I pinch my finger, I always say son of a nutcracker. So I want to make a shirt that says son of a nutcracker. But I love Cotton Heady Ninny Muggins. And do you guys all know what movie this is from? I assume you do.
You did. Well, you already said. Elf.
I am going to flip it over really quick just to get a press from the back side here. And I'll do this every once in a while just to make sure we get a nice press. Now, if you're using a regular iron-on, you'll know you got a good press from your shirts because you will see the fabric, and you can kind of see it through this. It's going to be kind of bright. But see how you see the fabric kind of through that? It's really hard to tell. But in person, I can see the fabric. You're looking for that fabric underneath that.
The texture of the fabric.
The texture. So there's our first shirt. What do we think?
So as I was saying, so the difference between an iron, that triangle shape, usually the elements are either just down the side or down the middle. They did a test of on a temperature heat gauge on it. There's a difference of over 200 degrees from their cold to the hot, and it's so inconsistent. And plus, it's a small footprint compared to this. This is a 9x9 footprint, and it's got a coil all the way through it, so that the entire thing is heated from edge to edge with only a difference between 10 and 15 degrees difference. So when you're doing this, the whole thing is hot, not one little section. And you'll find that most people, when they're doing an iron-on, they're just sitting there moving around, which means you're bringing the temperature up and down and not keeping it constant. In reality, even like on a heat press, it's down, and then you're done, you hold it until it's done. Same thing with this, you put it on, you leave it. An iron, most people who do irons don't do that. So this is why this press works so much better than using an iron by a long shot. Everybody who has one can tell you exactly how easy and how nice it is to use this compared to an iron.
So I already changed my settings from the foil to glitter, because I'm using glitter on this one. And all I did was heat up my pad there so I can get a nice, get that glue. And so this way we can easily, especially with glitter. Glitter is a chunky material. And look at how easy that comes off with this once you heat it up.
Yeah, this was a great little trick that somebody told us too. I forget who told us that originally. Do you remember?
I do.
Okay, I forget who. But yeah, great idea.
His name is Keith, and he works for a Siser. So he told me it.
Yep. Great idea. Perfect.
And it does, because I used to always tell people, like, I hate weeding iron or iron, or especially glitter, because it's so chunky and it sticks and stuff. And this, basically all you're doing is activating that glue really quick. And by doing that, it just peels right off.
Somebody says the silicone mat is out of order. It's out of stock.
Oh no! It's a popular item. You can get those things at Amazon. I would say, some people say it's not a must, because you can technically put the protective sheet back on there. I wouldn't do that, but you could. I just like to do a final press on it to make sure I got a nice, even press on there.
Melinda was saying Amazon is so cheap for silicone and Teflon sheets. It's not like you have to get the one through Cricut, but it is nice. Look at that. That is so cool. Don't forget your G. Your bottom of your G.
Oh,
bottom
good catch, Sean. So this one is from, if you guys didn't know, my other favorite movie. We actually saw this movie when we were living in Seattle, Sean. Yes. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it was a big deal when it first came out because it was the Grinch. So there it is. You can see it there. And I love this because, for those of you who don't know this play on word, right now a lot of people say, if you go to someone, they have resting bitch face. That's what it's actually, resting bitch face, but resting Grinch face. It's a little play on words.
Yep.
So, of course, this is going to be going on to a green shirt. So we're going to go ahead and get that ready.
I love the green. Let me just pull this off for you real quick.
So I am going to, once again, prep this. So those files will be available part of my Patreon here. I didn't have time to upload them right before. Plus, I have 3 more going up tomorrow for all my patrons to get free access to these files. Of course, you can make these files yourself in Cricut Design Space or another software program. So, all right.
Thank you again, Mel, for that link for Ken's Patreon. This glitter is black glitter.
Oh yeah, it's black glitter.
This is really pretty.
It's pretty stuff. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
I could do measuring and stuff, but we're in a time thing, so I don't want to waste too much of your time. So we are all ready to go. Our Cricut machine just went beep, beep, which basically means she is good to go. Now, what's really cool about the EasyPress is I can hold it. Now this is 340 degrees, and look at one hand, hold this up. And that's how much protection there is using this tray. So it's really good for, kids or to help. I mean, on a heat press, when you bring down a heat press, I constantly hit my fingers and stuff. So I love this. Plus it's got, I think we measured it. It's almost a 7-foot cord, or is it 6.5 foot?
About 6 feet.
6 feet cord. So once again, this is 340 degrees, 20 seconds. So we're going to do probably 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, maybe.
Probably 4. Just be on the safe side.
All right, just be on the safe side. So we're just going to put that over here. We're going to hit start by hitting a little Cricut head, just a little bit of pressure.
So Patreon is a link where you can help support your favorite designers and stuff out there. There's different price ranges from what you get and stuff. So that's kind of how it works. You can go as little, for some people, go as little as $1 to as much as you want, really, or even more. It's just a monthly thing that you get as long as we go out there and help you out with some files and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else was there question in there? What is the black square you're ironing on? That is actually a silicone pad from the actual heat press that we still own. It's just the bottom of it, and we just happen to use
right now as a table.
This table here, this table here is for mica. If you were just to do it on this, the glue that's holding this down would eventually just start wearing away, and then you get a big bubble in there. So you don't want to do that. I know Melody was telling me she was using a piece of granite, which works perfectly because it's rock and it's not going to transfer any heat into anything like that.
But I did give him the link to this pad on Amazon. You can buy them because there are heat presses that go out.
Yep.
Cricut did release for a very short. They actually never released it as silicone pad, but it had some defects, so they didn't release it. And to my knowledge, they are coming out with something new. They just haven't told us. So some people are using Steady Buddies. I've seen people use towels. I've seen people use a blanket.
One of those iron pads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have one sitting around here somewhere.
So I am doing a final kind of hit on this because while I was pressing, I don't know if you guys saw that, I did drop down in temperature to about 320. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You do want to follow your instructions. So what Sean was saying is there's heat peel or cold peel. And a lot of times you might not even have a peel, but you want to make sure you read the instructions. And if it says cool peel or cold peel, I guess, or heat peel, but oh, look at that.
Boy, that's pretty.
Look how cute that is.
Love it.
So much fun. So I'm going to grab this. And you can get these on Amazon. These little sheets here. Cricut does have it. It sounds like they're out of stock, which is a bummer. But once you remove your protective sheet, you need to make sure you do this. Because if you don't, you're going to damage your iron-on.
Yeah, somebody was just asking, can you do your own designs? But of course.
Absolutely. In Cricut Design Space, you can upload your own designs. You can... All right, I'm just going to flip her over here so we can do the back real quick, and then I'll give you a nice up-close shot.
So, Melinda, yes, these designs will be on his Patreon page later tonight.
Yep.
So, just not right now because he did them today.
So, I'll be uploading these, and then like I said, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. So, tomorrow we will be doing the other 3 shirts. So, tune in tomorrow, and those files will go up.
So that
look at that.
We're
There's that glitter. See?
Yeah, look how pretty that black glitter is.
That's black glitter. How fun is that?
Asking, are you using 12 by 12 sheets? This is done on a 12 by 12 cutting with your maker.
Oh,
or
I was using, yeah, but I think what they're asking is I was using the rolled. Basically, this is the black glitter iron-on from Cricut, and it comes on a roll. It's 12 inches, and I think you get 36 inches. I could be wrong, but...
Part of that was how big is the design itself?
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I don't like to cut on a 12 by 24 mat, all the files come in at one size, and I always do it at 11.5 inches high because that's the best you can do to not have to do it on. I don't know why I don't like cutting on a large mat. It's not a big deal. I just haven't yet. I don't know. All right, so there is 2. So for those of you who missed our first shirt, and we'll do our last shirt here. Mm-hmm. Here is the first shirt we made. Cotton-headed ninny muggins. I'm such a cotton-headed ninny muggins. And I love this foil, you guys. Yeah. I cannot tell you. Look at that.
That is so pretty.
It just hits that light, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We also have now Resting Grinch Face, which is just hilarious in my opinion.
Yeah, so again, these will not be on Patreon right now. Just a little later on tonight, for sure by tomorrow For sure, no matter what,
Yeah.
it'll be up.
So the last one is a red shirt, and we're using glitter on iron-on. And I'm going to, once again, just like I did in the last ones, I'm going to heat up this silicone pad. I don't have to change my temperature because it's glitter again, but I want to heat this up so this way it makes my weeding a lot easier. Once you got it nice and hot, you're going to put your glitter with the protective sheet down and just kind of rub your hands on it, and you'll feel it. You'll feel that adhesive get warm, and what that will do for us is it will let us release it very, very quickly.
Somebody was asking, can you do this with the scan and cut?
Yeah, technically, yeah. Scan and cut is a great cutter for cutting materials, and absolutely. So I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, if you got one.
So I love glitter. I don't know if you guys can see this. It is a really bright. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see where this shows you the lines. This is why the bright pad. Without the bright pad, nothing.
It's very hard.
Put it on that bright pad. It's hard to see, but there you go. There you can see all those lines. And I get a lot of times people say, "Oh, I don't know why you need the bright pad." For me, that's why I need the bright pad. It lets me see my lines to where I'm getting the right. Because nothing's worse than you got it, you cut it, and then you weed it wrong, or you can't see it, and you accidentally weed in the wrong area. So we're going to go ahead and... Can you remove that? It's too much of a contrast.
Oh, sure.
On the light. Thank you.
Miss Superglutz says you've got a cool wardrobe.
Who?
Miss Superglutz. She says you have a cool wardrobe with all these shirts.
So we're just going to get all these little pleat pieces out. We're doing another. This one is from Christmas Vacation. I'm doing another one tomorrow. I'll give you a little hint. And I was going to do it tonight, but I forgot to put a disclosure because that quote has a bad word on it. So I'm sure you guys can know which one that is. So it will be... All right.
Oh, well, very good, Brenda. Hubby said she can go ahead and order.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm in the shot here. I have to see where I am weeding this one because it's another one that's kind of weird. So I'm just weeding. So that's one thing also too is when you're weeding is I would say get a little cheat sheet and look at what you're doing, especially on this one. This one has very thin lines that just separate the hat from the rest of it. And I want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong on this. And then we go here. All right, you can take that. I'm good, Sean. Thank you.
Sorry if there was any quotes you made that go away.
And Sean, if you had questions, he didn't see it because I totally moved his screen on him.
All right, let's see if
So if you guys can't read this one backwards, it says... Sean, what is this from? You serious, Clark?
Oh, geez.
You serious, Clark?
This is National Lampoon's holiday.
Do you remember the part of the movie where he says this? Serious?
Serious, Clark? Was it in the store?
I think so. And then it's also like when he's talking about St. Nicholas. So there we go. That's what this design looks like. You serious, Clark? All right, so we have this all weeded. We move that out of the way. I love that movie. It's one of my faves. This one's going on an extra large. The first two are larges. This is an extra large shirt. And it's going on a red one. Woo, that's a bright red.
Yeah, it's bright red. Remember the light pad not only helps you
bright
pad not only helps you in weeding, it does a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that you can do if especially if you're doing things with because you were using it for a little bit when you were doing your paintings and stuff.
I love
when you did
using
your stamps.
It for stamping. I love using it for coloring because you can see your blends underneath of it. I love it for lining up dies with your stamps. So if you have a die and you need to get it stamped, you can see that through that. Mm-hmm. So it's got some great things. I'm just going to see what this looks like.
Yep.
Okay.
That looks nice.
Looks nice, Sean says. You serious, Clark? I love it.
Christmas Vacation is correct.
Yes. So, are you sure that's right? Looks crooked.
I think you just stick it back on there, Cricut.
Oh, no,
fine.
I didn't take it off. Sean. I think it needs to come down on the right-hand side.
Right.
This is why a lot of people...
Somebody's asking, can you adhere rhinestones with the EasyPress?
I haven't tried it. I'm not saying you can't do it. I haven't tried it yet, but...
We've never done anything with rhinestones.
I don't see why. I know a lot of people trick using holographic heat transfer vinyl to give it a rhinestone look and not actual rhinestones. I know that the Silhouette machine actually has a rhinestone feature, which a lot of people like. I've never used rhinestones in my...
So once again, this thing right here, this black thing is called the silicone pad. This is what you would find, and this is why we have it. So we have an actual heat press, the kind that you press down with a big old spring.
That I haven't used in now 2 years.
That thing that's right on there, so it just comes right off. So we're using that because you can't really do a heat press on this. It's Formica, and Formica is very thin and has glue, and it would destroy the Formica, probably even burn it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's why we're using that.
Once again, we're doing glitter. In my little cheat sheet that came with my box, it tells me on cotton, which is what this is, it's 340 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 seconds. We're going to do it in quadrants, so we'll start over here. Start it, and then I'm just adding, once again, just the pressure it takes of me leaning down. Now, my table's higher than most people's. This normally you would just have to basically put your weight on it, but you're not like forcing it down by any means.
Right.
But you do need a little pressure. If I was to not put any pressure, we would see, I mean...
You know how you lean on a countertop or something? That's all you need. You're just leaning on it. So you're adding maybe 10, 15 pounds of body pressure, and it's not much, and it's perfect. It works just fine. It's that nice, even heat that really helps the most, and just a little bit of pressure. Where can you get the black silicone?
I have a link down below that will take you to Amazon.
Yep.
And depending on Amazon, it might be out of stock. If you just do there, and it might say out of stock, go down below because it will say people who looked at this also looked at these items, and it will take you to the other silicone mats.
Yep. Have you tried doing towels?
I have.
Something that has texture. How does that turn out? Just fine. Just depends on. It really depends on.
It depends on how thick
pile.
it depends on how thick your shirt is.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on if you're using good heat transfer quality.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen some people say before that they've gotten a texture on it, but I think that's just because they were pushing actually too hard. They were putting too much force on the EasyPress, so it was pushing everything down and making that impression. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of using towels. Some people love it, and that's what they do. I prefer using, all right. I'm just not a big fan of the towels, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Have you tried doing multiple colors? Yes, we have. And you just follow the directions. Usually you just need a few seconds per layer. And all you do is, depending on the number of layers that you have, will determine how long each press is. Let's say you've got 20 seconds and you're doing 2. You just need 10 each.
You can see it. Dun, 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 dun. Are you serious, Clark? All right. So that
Steady Betty works just great.
Yeah, it does. So there you go. We have that one, the Serious Clark. We have the resting Grinch face. And cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Nice.
And somehow this got, I think my water got on here because now my shirts are wet and I don't know why. So when I was drinking, I must have spilled water on stuff.
Oh no, Sharon was so late.
Sharon, you're late. No, it's okay. So there you go. You serious, Clark? I love this guy. How fun is that?
This is his brother.
My brother?
It's his, not your brother. It's Clark's brother.
So those are the 3 we're making today. Like I said, I will make these all available for my Patreons. I have 3 more tomorrow.
Somebody's asking about the dark image. That might be a problem with the material.
So you can avoid this. So this dark image is here. It's probably a problem with the material of this cotton. You can avoid it by, instead of just waiting for your carrier sheet, that's why you'll see a lot of people will use this. My images, when I run this through the machine, it will come off. So I think it's a problem with the material. I had this happen on another red shirt, and it lifted up.
And it also worked. It also did it on believe it or not, a black shirt too. Which was
yeah, well, the black shirt it was because we were doing multiple layers, and I think I burned the shirt because I wasn't using a good carrier sheet. But on this one here, I think it's because of the shirt. Because even if I was to do this through the carrier sheet, you're going to see it's turn color slightly.
We'll see what happens if we let it cool completely.
But to avoid that, if you did a test, let's say you did a test, and you notice in a corner, because it always will say test it somewhere on your shirt first. I do every once in a while get this. If you get this dark edge and you're worried about that being on your shirt, use this in addition and make sure your EasyPress does not come over here. The problem is with this is I don't have it, if I tested my shirt, I would have then brought it right up to the EasyPress here, and it just gives that protective layer. However, these shirts I get from Joann's, I've only had it happen on my red shirts, and it lifts up after my first wash. So I don't know what causes that.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. But you can see up close. Like, let me show you. I don't know if I can show you. See, you can't see it because it's already lightening here where it's starting to air dry. I know that's weird. So you can kind of see it here now a little bit, but it's lifting just a smidge. So you can't see it. You can see it disking up here right about there. So yeah, and you know what? So someone says as long as it goes away with the wash, it's fine. Correct. I would always say test your shirts because sometimes it won't lift for a wash. So I don't want you guys to use that as the, be all that it's going to do that. I know with the red one on my Gildan, it will lift with washing. However, if that makes you nervous, it's better to put more protective sheets in between this and the shirt. So this and the iron-on with the protective sheet, because you can always add more heat and test it. If you don't have a good, if your iron-on's lifting from your shirt, you can always add more heat to activate that adhesive, but you cannot, if it did stain your shirt, let's say this was a permanent stain, you can't lift that. If that did do that, you're gonna have to redo it and stuff. You can see, I don't know if you can see over here, it's already lifting. Let me move this so it doesn't, so we'll let it cool here and see if it lifts. So it's still on that black, so I don't know why it does that. And I have ruined one shirt where it didn't lift up. It did leave that square, and then the other two shirts it lifted just fine.
I would think sometimes that it's even possible that maybe if you wash your shirt first, which you can do.
Yeah,
definitely,
that's what you're supposed to do it on a wash shirt. These say they're pre-washed, but I don't know how pre-washed they are. Because it does say you want to wash your shirts first, so.
Yeah, and of course we don't have that kind of time.
Well, I just brought it home.
We kind of did, yeah. So we kind of.
So once again, I'll show you the files here, and then we'll finish up for the night. There's this one. This is probably my favorite.
Do we have our study buddy here?
I do. Well, it's not the official study buddy.
Yeah, it's not official. It's something very similar. It's like just a thick style of a pad, an iron pad that can go on your tabletop. So there you go. You can use that as your underneath.
Yeah. So this is my favorite. Once again, this is the Cricut glitter. Let me show you up here close. There you go.
These can be unisex, but I know sometimes girls have more of a V cut, where these are just crew neck. But
so we have that one.
Girls like crew neck. Why not?
I love this one. This foil, you guys. Their foil is gorgeous. Look at that foil. It's so cool when the light hits it. Cotton heady ninny muggins.
So somebody said you should do a video from designing it.
Oh, I should, yeah.
And getting it all the way to this point.
And then use Sirius Clark.
Are you serious, Clark?
There you go.
I keep forgetting what his brother's name is.
It's Clark. Well, that's their last name. Or no, Clark.
No, it's Griswold, his last name. But what's his brother's last name? Or his brother's
Clark.
name? I forget. I haven't seen that.
Eddie.
Oh, yeah, Eddie.
Eddie. There you go. So what questions do you guys have? I will try to get in this screen with Sean here.
I can move over. What I'll do is I'm going to push this over just a little bit. Like that, and then we can do this. There we go. Or actually, we could do a flip-flop.
When I buy an image from Cricut that is different, are those layers? Can you do a layer iron-on? You can do an layered iron-on. The one thing I would caution is you don't want to add too many layers. If you start adding 3 or 4 layers, your iron-on's going to be pretty thick, and I'd be concerned about getting a good adhesion to the shirt, and also it sticking up in the wash. I would say try not to do more than 2, 3 maximum, but I would say 3. You can do a thing where instead of doing layers that you cut away pieces, so it basically then is a puzzle you're putting together. But you don't want to do too many layers just because it may or may not hold up in the wash, and it will literally lift off the shirt. The other thing is once you wash it and dry it, it gets really bulky looking on the shirt. It gets I don't know how to say it besides it's a bulk feeling. It's not a nice, even, smooth, like when you just do one, it's nice and smooth and you can fold the shirt. If you're doing 3 or 4 layers and it's over the entire shirt, when you fold that, it's pretty bulky.
That's right. Sorry, yes, cousin Eddie, not brother Eddie.
Yeah, it's his cousin. Is there any other question? Oh, I had to leave it. You mentioned in the beginning about a sheet of paper for the press. Can you tell me what that was again? So the sheet of paper comes in your EasyPress, and it's a quick reference guide. So in the EasyPress, you're going to be given this, which is good practices to follow, quick reference guide, and then you actually will get a full-on instruction booklet, which I thought I had mine, but I don't. It'll come in this. It'll say, let's do this. And it will be a full instruction booklet of the different iron-on. So glitter, foil, and it'll walk you through it all. I tend to use this one, the quick reference, because it has your main ones. It has foil, your regular metallic, glitter, and holographic. And then it has cotton, cotton blend, polyester, nylon, silk, jersey mesh, cotton canvas, and wool felt. So I have this always when I'm doing my my EasyPress.
Dana was just asking, can you use parchment paper for your protective sheets?
As long as it doesn't have wax, right? Yeah, that would be wax paper. Yeah.
But I don't see why not. I guess you could always try it and see what happens. Yeah, see, that's what happens. It gets bunched up if you...
There you go, bunched, yeah.
Too many layers, it gets bunched up.
Well, and you can feel it. When you're using something that has multiple layers like that, even if you're using one layer and it's, like, for example, when we did our... Star Wars shirt with the moon and it was glow in the dark, even that one, even because it was a big area for that moon, it gets a little bulky too. So keep that in mind. This isn't silk screening. It's completely different. A lot of people will say, well, how does the t-shirt places get 5 or 6 layers on their shirts? And they're actually using a silk screen where they can actually put layers of paint on top of each other. And that we don't have that. That's completely different than this.
Somebody was asking, where was it? Have you no wait. Have you tried the strip flock?
The what?
Strip flock.
No.
We used a flock.
Oh, flock iron-on?
We have used
it. Yeah. We used that for last year. We made Star Wars Stormtrooper t-shirts with Santa hats, and the Santa hat was flocked. So we used that. Great. It does work great. The thing on that is you can't really do a lot of layering on that, because if you use layering, like flock as your base and put something on top of it, you're going to see all the lines over that. Mm-hmm. It's very noticeable because of the flocked on it. Yeah. So, I don't know the temperature to use on the strip flocked. I think I have some.
We might have. I don't know if we have that left. Let's see.
So.
You have to have a protective iron sheet. If you're using one layer and you keep the protective cover on it without doing anything else, no. But if you're going to do any more than, if you're going to do 2 layers, 3 layers, yes, you're going to need it, because you don't want to put the heating element right on top of the stuff that you just removed the material. Then yes, you do need some kind of protective on it. Even if you use another t-shirt, something to keep it from melting.
Melinda asks, isn't that the UD screen printing machine? Is that still being made? It is not. I believe that whole system got retired. So I don't know if it got bought out or something. That was something ProvaCraft was releasing, and I do not believe it's being released anymore. Mm-hmm. There is other screen printing systems out there. And we have a printing system. It's not for t-shirts, but it's for that one thing we have, the screen prints for on craft paper. I think it's called Screen Sensations. Sensations.
Like that, yeah. You can get your designs if you sign up to be a Patreon, and thank you, Melody. There's the
And those won't don't forget, those will be going up later here tonight. The first 3 images I'll have up, and then tomorrow I'll have the rest. So
yes, both Michael's and Joanne's carry these shirts. Just check to see who's got
ooh,
one.
Guadalupe, yes. I'm telling you right now, this is the best deal Cricut ever offers on their supplies and materials. So pretty much I've looked, almost everything is half off, including maker accessories and materials, and mats, blades, pens. So, and then if you use my code KK15, you'll get an additional 15% off. You might not get it before Christmas. Keep that in mind. If my code will only get you standard shipping for free, so you may or may not get it before Christmas. If you need it before Christmas, you can't use my code KK15 because Cricut only allows you to use 1 coupon code at a time. So if you use holiday ship, all one word, that will get you free priority shipping on items $75 or more. But you wouldn't get the 15% off.
Can you go full screen? Yes, we can. For us, yeah.
Can we?
How do we do that?
I don't know. Can we? Well, you can try and see what happens. You go here. So I have to show Sean how to do this. Just a sec, everyone.
I don't use it all the time, so I don't know yet.
So hopefully this doesn't.
Is that better?
There you go. So now you just have to go here and see if it worked. So hopefully, oh. I don't know where we're all at because it's there. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. It worked. Yay. Okay. So Nona, I'm not sure. Cricut brought some more into stock, and then it left. It might already be out of stock. You can get it. I do know Silhouette offers printable iron-on, and so does Square One.
Hi, Mom. My mom's in the room.
Oh, that's cute.
Yay.
Yep, AC More. I don't have an AC More, which is super sad. Do you have a recommendation for a user-friendly design software to upload into Cricut Designer? I mean, Cricut Design Space is so user-friendly. I do a lot of my images there. I would say Inkscape is another one. You can use... I mean, if you have Shortcuts a lot or Make the Cut, anything that can save it as an SVG, PNG file, a lot of people just take screenshots and clean it up in Cricut Design Space because you can do that too. So there's a different ways you can do it.
Yeah, somebody says, any idea where to get printable HTV or iron-on vinyl? I need to make a shirt.
The only places I know for sure that have it online would be Silhouette and a place called Square One Masterpiece. Both of those have printable vinyl or printable iron-on. I've tested both of them. They're as good as the Cricut brand. Other than that, I would say Square One, Masterpiece, and Silhouette might be the only ones that have it in stock. There is like a brand at Joann's. It might be Avery brand or something. I've never used their brand though, but they do have it. The only bad thing, some of them, is the adhesive sometimes gets attached to the shirt, which I'm not super happy about. Renee wants to know what's the update on the knife blade. Ashish posted something on his page and Cricut shared it about the knife blade and it being not until 2018 due to some quality testing they were doing. They would rather release a product that they have 100%
That's right.
on par than releasing something that people aren't happy with and taking it back off the market.
Yep.
I can let you know, I've seen the knife blade in action, and when it does curved motions, so like you guys all saw the puzzle being cut, it was dead on beautiful. I think the part that Ashish and maybe Cricut has been testing that they're not super, on point yet is when you have a knife blade, keep in mind when you have a blade like that, it's going to be at usually a 45-degree angle or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing a cut, it needs to end directly where it's picking up and setting down again. And if you have any overcut, it's going to be noticeable. I'm not saying that that's what they're getting, but that's what I would do. If I was testing a knife blade, because I've done it myself when I'm using a pen blade, when you're done, you have to almost anticipate where you're going to finish because it's going to be a little bit of an overcut. If a machine's giving an overcut, let's say on a snowflake or something, it's going to really show. You're going to see tiny little overcuts. Not saying that's the issue, but if they are getting those results, they're going to want to perfect that before releasing it because that's not a good user experience.
That's right.
And for those of you who know anything about the new leadership at Cricut, they would much rather deliver something that is exceeding customers' expectations than releasing something that's frustrating or isn't up to their par, because then they're going to be going back and constantly revisiting it.
Yep, that's true.
Melinda Gibson says, "Oh, yes. She is right. Expressions vinyl will have that printable vinyl too. If you go to my page, creativeken.com, there's a page that says coupon codes. There's an expression vinyl coupon on there for you.
I don't think we answered this question. Is the Cuttlebug on sale?
I don't believe it is. It was at one point, but I don't think it is still.
You know how it is. Off and on. Yes, no.
Yeah.
Just keep a lookout.
Yeah. So any last questions? We have about 4 more minutes until we have to get out of here. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be back at 6 o'clock. We will be going live today, of course. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we have a Chalk Couture project, and then Thursday. And then we will be going live on at least Monday of the next week. But the rest of the week is kind of up in the air because it's in between. It's right before Christmas, and I don't know.
We have baking to do.
I may have waited till last minute to buy my gifts because Amazon Prime is 2-day shipping. Me and Sean have not bought anything for anyone yet.
I don't need anything.
That's what he's been saying to everyone, which is not a good
nothing.
answer. I know, but people want to know what you want because they're going to buy you something.
If anything, just give me a gift card to Home Depot.
We don't do gift cards.
I know.
Now I need to go to school to learn more about the Cricut Sea tomorrow. Bye, Guadalupe. Glad you got a good discount.
I've been to Guam once.
Ooh, I've never been to Guam.
It's a little tiny island out in the Pacific, or out in the Pacific.
Yeah.
No, Atlantic Ocean. Indian Ocean. I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, out that way. I've been there twice.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, last night we went and saw the movie Wonder.
Great movie.
It was a good movie. It was very good
heartwarming.
Feel good. It has Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson and the little boy from Room. I don't know if you ever saw Room, which was a really good movie too.
Yep. He
plays the little boy that has
the scarred up face and stuff. But
yeah.
He did a great job.
Well, not in Room, he doesn't have that.
No.
But in Wonder he does. And it was really good. It was a good feel movie. So yeah. Go see it. We wait till Valentine's Day. That's
Come on by.
Come on by where?
To Guam.
Oh, gotcha. So any questions before we have to leave? What is behind me? Oh, this is Sean's jib crane.
And this is how I'll kind of use this to use.
So when we do our our maker videos or the machine videos, this is a nice way to get like steady actions when moving your camera to where it's not
we're
jerking.
using it as our overhead right now.
So he's using it as an overhead camera, but so yeah.
That's just the counterweight and it's holding it on and all that.
Yep. So I get to now go to the Apple Store to see what's going on with my iPhone because I miss it. I've been without it for a day, and I don't know what I did with my life before a phone.
And yes, we've seen Coco, and it was fantastic.
Coco's so good.
So good.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Up. That's the only bad thing about it, but not a lot, but it's a beautiful story.
Beautiful storyline.
They did such a good job with the animation in Coco. It's gorgeous.
Yep. A must go. A must see.
A must see, yes.
Yep.
But yes, I'll be kind of tracking sales the rest of the week and letting you know if I see any sales. I do know this Cricut sale right now is like 72 hours, and I think it started yesterday maybe, or maybe it started today. So definitely take advantage of that one while you can. I know that I turn into basically in January, I'm like not buying anything because I'm trying to.
Kisha fell asleep. Sorry, Kisha.
You fell asleep?
She fell asleep.
That's all good.
That's all right. Will the maker ever go on sale?
It will.
Eventually.
I don't know when.
You gotta let it, be out there for about a year or so.
I don't even know if it will be a year, but I know that, like when the original Cricut Explorer came out, it was, I want to say $299 retail, and now that one's technically equivalent to the Cricut Explorer Air 1, and it's on sale for $134.99. Yeah. It's the closest is the Explorer 1. But so as new technology comes out, you might see, I don't anticipate seeing a huge clearance or anything just because it's a newer technology. Just like the Cricut Explorer Air 2, a lot of people are like, oh, that's an old machine, but it was just featured in, I think, the Newsweek, maybe Newsweek. I forget what someone put it as the top 20 gifts to buy someone.
There you go. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Mystery box.
When is Create in 2018? I don't know what Create is. Is that Creativation?
Probably Creativation.
Creativation's in January.
We'll be there.
We just bought our plane tickets and our hotels. Mm-hmm. And Lori's joining us. I'm so excited.
Lori's going to be there. Nice.
Yay. Awesome. Well, I think that is it.
How do I get to your school?
I don't know what that is.
Don't know what that means, Guadalupe. Sorry.
Ooh, Ebates is a good program. Melinda, I used the wrong word, not outdated. Some people, when a new machine comes out, so you have the Cricut Explorer 2, and then the Cricut Maker comes out, everyone wants to go get the Maker because it is now the newest and hottest thing. So I shouldn't have used the word outdated. I should have used the word like, that is no longer the newest model. So some people want to go for the newest model. So it's kind of like when a car, the 2018 cars come out instead of the 2017. They're still good cars. It's just some people want the newest. Like, I always want the newest and best iPhone.
Sure.
I love to update. Every year I will update my iPhone because I love newest technology. That's just how I do it. Yes. And so once again, for all those of you who are pledging and becoming a Patreon, don't forget these files won't be up for a couple minutes. So I have to get off and go put these on before I go to Apple Store. With all the sales, will Cricut do a mystery box? I'm sure they will do a December mystery box. I just don't have a ton of information I can release to you.
What? Sorry, I was reading something while you were talking, so I wasn't really listening.
HSN has a bundle with materials. Oh, Melody, can we tell them they are going to do one? Oh, I guess maybe it's not a secret.
Yes, they will.
I'm always err on the side of caution. I'm always like, I don't know if I can say anything or not. So I'm always there.
Who knows?
So I guess, yes, we can tell you. Yes, they will. I don't even know. I don't know if I can tell you when or anything, but there will be one in December. I can tell you that.
Wish we could meet you in Phoenix. I don't know if you live in Phoenix.
When can you find info on Creativation? Just go to creativation.com. All the info is there. I have that it will come out this month. Perfect. So it will come out in December. And, oh yes, the sugar cookie transfer from Chocateur is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yes.
All right, guys, we have got to go. We will see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock here. We'll do 3 more shirts, and I hope you guys have a great, great evening.
Thank ya.
Bye, everyone.
Love y'all.
Stay hydrated.
Bye.